Good afternoon, friends and family and fellow church members. Andrew here with Real Road Ministries on my personal channel. Today, just wanted to give everybody a shout out, let you know what all's been going on over the last couple weeks or so. Um, there is a good chance that I had been in contact with somebody who had the coronavirus. I got over an illness myself, which I think may have been the coronavirus also. So forgive me in this video if I cough from time to time into my elbow. Um, but I did want to go ahead and come at you. Hey, you can't contact the virus like this, right? Not on social media. Well, I hope not, because if you could, well, then all them Facebook people, man, boy, they'd be in bad shape right now. But that's a whole nother story. So, just wanted to kind of let you guys know that I will be getting tested today. I thought what I had, probably like most people make the same mistakes, is I was out there in the blowing dust a couple weeks back, and and I can handle about a day of dust, no big deal. When I mow my grass and I get it all breathed in, I can handle one day of that. But the second day, let me tell you, I can't handle it. It happens again, man. If I don't have my mask on, my dust mask, the ones that are actually used for the dust and the particles, um, then I get pretty bad off. And so I had 2 days of breathing in some pretty bad dust up there in Lubbock doing this project with some dry dirt. And so it really got to me, pretty bad. And so that messed me up for a few days. And then it got all of a sudden, boom, like a fever hit, and I was like, wow, that's kind of strange. I didn't think that would happen. And so I laid up in my house for a couple days and got my fever broke and kind of got back into the routine of things. Then the weekend hit, and so I was able to kind of stay away from everybody, and and so that's been good. That's been a blessing. But I am going to go ahead and get tested today. I expect that my results are going to be negative. I don't believe I have it anymore. If I did, and but just for guidelines and everybody else's safety, I want to go ahead and make sure that I'm clear, that I'm clean. Now, there's a few things that I want to say about this coronavirus. Uh, Number one, I want to kind of talk bad about the media and everybody else out there that puts so much fear uh, into our path. You know, one thing I know that the Bible teaches me is that fear is not from God. That fear is the work of the enemy. Okay, the enemy wants us to be afraid. The enemy wants us to be fearful. So, what enemy is this that's trying to make us all so afraid of the coronavirus that we can't even go about our normal routine? Or actually, well, we have been anyway until somebody gets it, and then somebody gets it, and it's like, oh my God, get back, heathen, heathen, get back, get back, leprosy, leprosy. You remember the times back in the Bible when if you were leprous, that was the law. If you had leprosy, you had to shout it out as soon as you saw somebody. You had to shout leprosy, leprosy, to let them know that you were leprous, that you were contagious. And um, and uh, you, you don't really feel like that until you get the coronavirus. So all my other people out there that got coronavirus, okay, maybe y'all can feel with me, a little bit on this subject. But and so now here we are, and I'm through it. The worst of it's over. I do have a couple little symptoms here and there, maybe just a cough, but the rest I feel fine. I'm ready to get back at it, but I want to make sure that my test comes back clear first, and do it like that. I've hung out with people who've already gone through it. I'm not going to be afraid of it. Okay, I got a good immune system. I was healthy. I got through it just fine. Now I know there are people out there that have previous underlying conditions. They have things that would cause concern. They need to stay away from, people, stay away from the public, wear their mask, wash their hands, things like that. All these things that we're supposed to be doing anyway. Um, I'm not talking bad about them. Not talking bad about anybody. Just letting y'all know. Go ahead and stick to the guidelines. Stick to what you need to do, right, to keep those people around us safe. Okay. And if there was concern that you were in contact with somebody with the coronavirus, go ahead and get on tested. Just get it done with. No big deal. We need to follow those guidelines. Um, I will say this. Back to the original reason why I started this video is because I just think it's funny. Okay, the flu virus that we had. Let's take the flu for. There's many strands of the flu virus. 3 or 4 different major ones that have caused pandemics. Okay, I don't remember at any time anybody making such a big deal about it. I don't remember them putting so much fear into us over the flu virus. that we should start practicing this term called social distancing, wearing our masks, this and that. So I'm wondering why not. The flu is nearly the same thing, um, except that it's statistically worse. It's killed a lot more people. Um, it creeps into nursing homes and hospitals, and it creeps into places where people have underlying health conditions, and it has taken them out. Okay, it's caused bronchitis. It's caused severe respiratory problem. It has killed many of elderly people. Uh, and maybe even young children that uh, have gone through that have other conditions also. But the coronavirus, why are they putting so much fear into this coronavirus? Why is it now that they want us to be afraid? Well, again, I go back to the fact that the enemy wants you to be fearful. The enemy wants you to be afraid. Could it be? Now, here's my theory. I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist. I'm not trying this and that, but there are several options planned for the vaccination for the coronavirus. Now, one of these, and you can go look it up. One of these is a little Band-Aid like vaccination that goes on your skin. I don't know where. I'm assuming here or here. I kind of thought up here like a patch or whatever. But I got a feeling it needs to be where your skin is thin, so maybe the top of your foot, maybe your hand. I don't know where it's going to go. But that it will have microchip device in it so that uh, they can keep track of where you are, your location, if you're social distancing, if you're, you know, if you've already had it, medical records, things like that. But the main thing that will do is be able to track you, a tracking device. So I'm just thinking this through in my mind. I'm just wondering, is that going to be how that they're going to tactically provide the chip or the mark of the beast into the system, into our bodies, right? Because right now we know that Switzerland, the people are getting these chips, these implants, and they're celebrating their quote unquote cyber birthdays. Okay, look it up. It's crazy. They're cyber, not cyber. I'm sorry, cyborg birthdays. Now they don't even want to classify themselves as human anymore. They want to be cyborg. So they have a cyborg birthday now, and now I refuse to believe that Americans, much less a Texan, is dumb enough to go for that idea right there. So, and I'm thinking over here, they're going to try to be real sneaky when they get it in on us. So perhaps could it be that they're going to implement a mandatory, because I mean they're trying to make it mandatory for us to wear our masks. They're trying to make it mandatory for us to social distance. I'm looking out there. I'm in the middle of Lubbock. I'm thinking, yeah, it ain't working very well. So if they could do this, okay, in a way that, number one, they could make sure that we have to mandatorily keep a 6 foot social distancing standard, right? By the chip. So if you get too close to somebody else that's 6 foot, okay, it's going to send a little signal somewhere, maybe to your cell phone to remind you, maybe to the government, maybe, I don't know how it's going to work. Maybe they're going to start implanting some kind of alarm systems in each other, right? Maybe it's gonna zap you when you get too close to somebody who has it, like a warning. I don't know. It's kind of creepy, but I got a feeling it's coming. So I just kind of wanted everybody to know today that God did not give us a spirit of fear. Okay, He gave us a spirit of a sound mind, for us not to be afraid, for us not to be worried about these things. Okay, I mean, it's like cancer, for instance. If you're so worried about cancer, why do you keep radiation right next to your face all the time? Okay? It's this far away from you, and you're worried about getting cancer. I don't, it makes no sense. Really, if you wanted to go to a perfect world and have all this, there's a lot of things we're going to need to get rid of. Okay? A lot of things. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. But what I do see happening, okay, is somebody out there standing up for Christ, preaching, okay, freedom, preaching, okay, the things that are of God, that are of His kingdom, right? Faith over fear. Okay, that's what it boils down to. Okay, we must have a spirit of faith. You can't have both. You're not going to be able to have fear and faith. You're not going to be 1 minute so worried about everything and the next minute I ain't got nothing to worry about. You can't. It's one or the other. Okay, I get it. There's guidelines and there's things that you need to be concerned about, especially for the people out there that have those underlying illnesses. By all means, with all due respect, please continue to follow the guidelines and do this. I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about the fearful Christian. Okay? It doesn't make sense. You can't have a fearful Christian. I mean, you can, but then you're not really claiming Christ. I mean, you're kind of a Christian right there, okay? It's one or the other, okay? Let's make a stand today and decide which side we're going to be on. Are we going to be on fear side? Or are we going to be on faith side?